Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out his wife has been cheating on him and that she's being investigated by the police. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. My soon-to-be ex-wife, 25, was not the angel I, 28 male, thought she was. The signs were there, but my love for her blinded me and didn't allow me to see through the beautiful face. Unfortunately, I had to find out this truth the hard way. When we got married, we decided to go to a small town and settle there. She loved teaching, and I was an entrepreneur who worked online. So we didn't have a problem relocating. She eventually found a teaching job she loved, and I was happy for her. Our marriage during those times was perfect. Everything changed when one day she came back early from work. It was an hour before noon. I was alarmed, not only because she never came home until late noon, but also because she was hysterical. My SCBXW was always calm and cool. Seeing her in that frantic state scared the hell out of me. I initially thought she was being chased or pursued by someone, but she mentioned that there was no one. When I asked her why she came back early, she mentioned that she felt lightheaded and wanted to come to rest at home. I thought that was a hint of pregnancy and felt joy surge through my body. After some time, she said we should move away from the town. I was perplexed. She was the one that suggested we move to the town. I disagreed vehemently and told her the town was perfect for us. She didn't say anything and slept off. Determined to find out why she was feeling that way, I reached out to her colleague who told me that there were serious allegations leveled against her, and she was dismissed from work during the process. She told me my STBXW was accused of sexually indulging a minor in her school. I decided not to say a thing to her, hoping she would broach the subject, but she never did. After that day, she didn't go to work anymore. When I asked her why, she mentioned that something had come up in her workplace that required her to stay out of the way. She never gave me the full details. During some of the nights that followed, I caught her taking provocative photos of herself in the bathroom. When I dared to ask her once, she mentioned that the pictures were for her view only and she wanted to appreciate her body. I didn't quiz her about it. I finally figured out she was a liar when I returned home one night after I had told her I would not be returning home that night. Her car was parked in the front yard instead of inside the garage. Noises were coming from it and I thought she had left the stereo on. On closer look, I found her with another guy in her car. They were in suggestive positions. I was super mad. She was cheating on me. I opened the door and threatened to beat the guy. He ran off. I confronted her and she said she couldn't leave the guy. I was stunned and threatened to make her pay for lying to me. I immediately called the lawyer to start the divorce proceedings. A week after I filed for divorce, she was still staying in my home and refused to move until the divorce was finalized. She divulged she was attending court hearings having been accused of sexually indulging a minor. She claimed she was being falsely accused. The pressure had made her cheat. She pleaded with me to cancel the divorce because she wanted us to be together, but I could see through her lies. She just wanted us together because she was scared and she wanted someone to be there for her. 5 days ago, she left home and didn't return. I got a call that told me she had gone for the last court hearing and was arrested after being declared guilty. She had told the police I was her husband, and I told them we were soon to be divorced. My head is a mess, and I can't stop asking myself how I didn't see she was a psychopath before we got married. Update. The divorce has been finalized. She's behind bars for sexual abuse and some other crimes I never knew she was capable of. I'm so glad we broke up because I can't imagine still having such a psychopath as a wife. I'm still pretty banged up. Who wouldn't be? I'm gonna go out soon for drinks with some friends. I need to drink this mess away. I'm sorry this happened to you, OP. I can't imagine what must be going through your head right now. You really didn't know your ex-wife. You only thought you did. It's a good thing you divorced her. Even if you didn't catch her cheating, the fact that she was sexually involved with a minor should have been enough reason to divorce her. I'm glad she's in jail now. People like her should be nowhere near kids. Take things easy, engage with your support system, and try to heal in a good way. Drowning yourself in drink isn't the way to go. Go for therapy and heal. Good luck, OP. Story 2. So I, 30 male, found out that my wife, 25, cheated on me last week. Someone at school came onto her while they were alone, and she went with it. Supposedly, it was all over in a few short moments due to guilt setting. She told me to my face the next day after work, and I believe she deeply regrets it. It was also the first time that I knew of it in 4.5 years of being a couple. I'm a relatively inexperienced guy when it comes to relationships. Until now, I've never dealt with infidelity this close besides my parents. I have to attribute this in part because my only other relationship with intimacy I have to attribute this in part because my only other relationship with intimacy and sex was fairly short, 6 months. She has always been impulsive. It's a part of her that attracted me until now. But combined with her uncanny ability to rationalize anything, I now think of her as the ticking time bomb of cheaters. She revealed to me after the infidelity that she had been wanting to cheat for a while, and that she even browsed Craigslist casual encounters, but only as a fantasy. When I asked her why she needed to have someone else, she didn't know, except that she has strong desires for things she can't have. She's only expressed tiny grievances about our relationship, and mostly has been praising it. She says she's happy and wants our relationship to continue. I know it would be a lot easier to walk away sooner than later, but I've been telling myself she doesn't have to be a cheater. There have been trying times, but also really good ones. I would say we had a passionate style of relationship until we started planning for kids. I've become fairly distant from the relationship with all the responsibilities I've taken on in preparation. Work and post-baccalaureate education. To a college student, I admit a life of responsibility must seem boring. She has told me as much. However, I know it's deserving of respect, and frankly, I don't really feel a lot of it. Needless to say, parenting is no longer on the table right now. What would you do in my situation? Update. 1 week after finding out, she's out of the house tonight. I got her a week at a hotel and told her I will call her if I want to see her. Wanting to see how I feel without. We'll update later on. Last update. 4 weeks after finding out. Told her last night that I want a divorce. Today, family and friends have been finding out from each of us. One of my friends has a perfect place for me to move into, furniture ready and inexpensive. I've been bawling my eyes out for the last 12 hours. She's a very special person to me, but us in a relationship, bad idea. We're ending it on very good terms and have agreed to remain friends, particularly because we attend some of the same social events. I know this is hard, but if she does, I want it like I do, it'll work. Thanks to everyone for the comments. I'm glad you finally came to a decision, OP. Your wife's infidelity tore your relationship apart. Her being impulsive doesn't excuse her having sex with a man who isn't her husband. Let's not even mention her saying she's been waiting to cheat on you. That's not loyal partner behavior. This is a new chapter for you. I'm glad you have a support system to be there with you. Take on new hobbies and try out the gym. Hopefully, once you get back into the dating world, you'll meet a partner who is as loyal to you as you are to them. Now for some comments. Too late, but I feel that reasons like I'm impulsive and I want things I can't have seem like very childish, superficial reasons for cheating on someone you've been together for 4.5 years with. I think you'll need more than that if you guys understandably want to work through things together. Hire an attorney to begin the divorce process. She cheated. She'd been wanting to do it for a while. She can't express or communicate why you're not enough for her beyond a general desire for things she can't have. She's impulsive. Red flags all over. Oh, and of course she wants your relationship to continue. You're the steady, reliable person she can come home to and get comfort from after her latest impulsive mistake. The biggest issue here is that she's wanted to cheat for a while. However you try to rationalize, she actively wants to cheat. Cheating on impulse is bad. Planning to cheat is possibly the worst thing someone can do. I know it's very easy to say this and a lot harder to do it, but I wouldn't be giving this woman a second chance. Every relationship I've been in and every relationship I ever will be in, I make it impeccably clear that if one of us cheats, whether it be a casual hookup or a full-blown affair, the relationship is over, no questions asked. Story 3. I, 32 male, met my wife, 28, 8 years ago in Buffalo, 2007. She was 20 and I was 24. We got married 3 years later in 2010 and we separated 3 years later, 26 and 30, in 2013. The reason of the separation was that she cheated on me with her best friend and then another friend. When I found out, it took me by surprise because everything was good, so I asked her to leave. She went back to her parents' house and I stayed by myself in Buffalo for 2 months before moving to Anaheim for a new job. I wanted out of the city and away from her after that situation. Before moving, we didn't really talk. I tried a few times to ask her why did she do it when everything was good and she had no answer for me. After I left, we spoke a couple of times every few months because of feelings we still had, but it always ended within a day or two because of what she did. Eventually, she told me that she cheated because I wasn't paying enough attention to her, despite weekly dinners, activities, etc. She knew I was working more than 40 hours a week while she stayed home or went to school, and I asked her why she never brought this up in the past. She didn't know why. During the past 2 years, she was with several guys and tried to have another relationship with that best friend. Nothing really worked out because no one was like me. Me, on the other hand, I've honestly completely shut down. I work and work as much as I can, mainly to stay busy and reduce my debt. A couple of weeks ago, she contacted me again. We haven't spoken all year since January, saying she wanted to talk to me because she was hurt and would understand if I didn't. So I called her. She didn't have my number since I was moving and I would use Skype. She told me her life in the past 2 years has been a mess. Besides going back to school, everything else is not good. And that she had a friends with benefits relationship, but now she's pregnant because of it. She was getting an abortion and wanted to talk to me because I was always there for her. After talking for a little bit, she tells me that since this happened, it made her really reflect on herself. She felt she hit the bottom of the barrel and decided to cut all the guys that she had on and off things with except one. She also said she regretted doing what she did to me. She knows it must have been really bad on me. She regrets not being more open and communicated the issues with me. She then asked if I could come support her for the abortion in 6 days. I told her I can't come because of my job. She understood. I spoke to her on the phone for a few days after that because, well, she was my wife and I still care. She ended up having the abortion and it seems to have gone fine. She asked me again to come see her because she knows what she wants now and wants to be a good person. She said I didn't deserve what happened and wanted to see where things could go. Question: my job is more flexible with schedules and flying from Anaheim to Buffalo for a week wouldn't be an issue for me. Besides using the money. My concern is that I can't figure out if this is a good thing or not. I can't make a rational decision because I still have feelings for her and all the positive things she brought. But at the same time, since cheating on me, she slept around, got pregnant, and had an abortion. Tried to have a relationship and nothing worked out. I can't tell if she genuinely really wants to make amends or if this is a temporary mental state until something else happens. Or if the grass was maybe the greenest with me. Now for some comments. Good God, please don't do this to yourself, please. She is in free fall right now in her life and just grasping for anything stable right now. Do not think it's because of any sincere epiphany. She's shown that she has a capacity to totally F you over without remorse. She is no friend of yours, and that doesn't change just because she had an abortion and decided to take a break from banging all the guys, except one. Abort mission. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. She had her time with you. She passed that up for cheap thrills. Now that is over, she's crawling back to you because you were always her safe guy, her doormat. Don't throw good money away to go through that shit again. She's pushing 30, wants to settle down with a good guy, and is looking at you. Do not fall for it. Find someone who treats you right from the get-go. Terrible idea, simply terrible. There are plenty of women out there who are better human beings than your cheating ex-mate. That time and energy you spent during your marriage is lost forever. Don't throw good money after bad and waste more time with this one. For God's sake, she blamed you for her effing other men. She's a child who feels lonely. Her friend with benefits probably wanted nothing to do with the baby. So she's feeling alone and needy, so she decided to turn to the one dude who stayed supportive even when she effed around on him. No more being a beta, okay? Have some self-respect and do that Nancy Reagan thing.